Hey, crafty friend. I have had a viewer ask me to do a demonstration on tools that we may have in our crafty stash that we could use to score with. I have the EK Tools scoreboard, which makes scoring really easy for me, but not everyone may have this tool. But if you do, this is just a scrap piece of paper. What's so neat about the scoreboard is that at the top here and on the sides you have the measurements. And it also comes with this really cool scoring tool. And then these grooves here line up with the measurements. So let's say we wanted to use this piece of paper for a project, and we wanted to score at 1. So we would put our paper in and then find the measurement for 1. And then we would just put our little tool in this little groove and just sort of pull the tool down. And it gives us a clean, neat score on the 1-inch mark. But not everybody has these tools. So if you don't have that tool and you have a paper trimmer, you can use your paper trimmer the same way. So if you wanted to, again, you want to score at 1, and this piece of paper, let me trim this to a straight edge. All right. So say we want to score this again at 1. So you have your 1-inch measurement here. You'd put your paper in, line it up with the 1, just like if you were going to cut it to 1, and then lower your little bar. And then take any tools that you have. So if you have a bone folder would work. If you have a Cricut, then you have a scoring tool. Or if this is a Fisker's embossing tool with 2 different ends, or even something as that's kind of this curved blunt edge of the tweezers. So let's give the tweezers a try. Now the tweezers aren't going to fit in this tiny groove here because it's too fat. But if we put our paper in here, it would fit right up against this part of the the bar here. So let's go ahead and try with the tweezers. And you want to gently press down, but not too hard because you could rip your paper. And you could just do this a couple times. And this is going to have a fatter end than something like the bone folder. So let's see if that worked. So you can see the line here. And it's not as strong of a score as the scoreboard, but it worked. So let's try the bone folder. So we'll just move this up to 1.5, and then we'll try the bone folder next. And again, just push this up against this bar. Alright, so that's our bone folder, and that gave it a really nice crease right here. Nice and smooth. So the bone folder works really well with your paper trimmer, or if you have one of these embossing tools, this would fit in the groove. So we could try this in the groove. And that gave a nice score as well. And then we have our Cricut tool. And there we have the score line for the Cricut. And that one did an okay job. You need to help the paper along with that one. But so all three of these tools work for scoring with your paper trimmer. But if you don't have a paper trimmer, then you could use your ruler. So I have a metal ruler, but you could use a plastic ruler, whatever kind of ruler you want or have. But say you want to score your paper at 3 inches. Well, you don't have any way to put this into something to know that you're at 3 inches. But you could just take and measure your paper and make a little line at the 3 inches. And then add your, put your ruler right up against that line. And then use whichever tool that you like. So we'll use the bone folder. And here we go. We scored on our mark. And it worked perfect. So let's try the tweezers and see how they work. Because this is just a tool that, you know, you even have these in like your medicine cabinet. So you want to push these down a little bit harder than you would your other tools. But it still gave it a nice score mark here. And then you can bend it. It needs a little bit help. It needs a little bit of help, whereas the other ones don't. But it still works. And then we can try our embossing tool. And this has 2 ends. I'm going to use the smaller end. And this is going to work really well. And there you have your line for the embossing tool and your ruler. Alright, now say you don't have any of these tools. You don't have any of these tools laying around in your house. I'm going to grab another scrap piece of paper. So say you don't have a paper trimmer, you don't have a tweezers or embossing tool or a bone folder or anything like that, and you want to score your paper. What you could do, if you want to have it measured a certain amount, you could measure it out again. So say we want to go to 2, and then you could put your ruler here at the line that you want to go to, and then fold your paper over your ruler, kind of creasing it as you go to start you a score line. So it starts you a score line, and then after you have that score line started, then you can just finish it using your fingers. Or if you want to make sure that your score line is very crisp, you can use something like your scissors and just taking the curved edge of the scissors along your score line, just giving it a gentle press, and it gives you a nice crisp score line. So even if you don't have any fancy tools and all you have is a ruler, you can still make very nice score lines and crisp edges using a ruler, your finger, and or a pair of scissors. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope this gives you some ideas of some different tools that you can use that you may have in your craft room, or if you just have a ruler and you want to do a project that requires score lines, or even if you want to make a card and you want to have the score line nice and crisp, you can do something with your scissors to make the score line crisp. So Thank you for stopping by and watching this video. If you like this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this content, I hope you will hit that subscribe button. And stay safe, happy crafting. Until next time, bye.